Hello again, guys. I'm Karina Borgia-LaCroix, the title girl and owner of American Real Title. I am super excited about today's Title Girl episode. I'm going to be showing you how to use our net sheet calculator. This is a very cool tool that you can use to see what closing costs will be for a buyer or a seller in Florida. This is especially important for my real estate agent clients who represent sellers because they can pre-print an estimate and take it to their listing appointments. This gives them the ability to give their clients their estimated net proceeds from the sale. This can be customized, and since it can be used on your mobile device, they can actually prepare with the seller to test out a few price point options or whether to give credits for closing costs or even options on negotiating costs with the buyer. If the seller is very particular about what they need to net, which most of them are, this tool is a complete necessity since you can work the numbers and fees to make sure that you know what you need to do to meet that specific net. The same goes for buyers. This can serve as a negotiating tool. Sometimes a buyer wants to offer less money than the listing price, so then they offer to pay all of the closing costs. That's just an example. With our tool, they will know exactly what they're actually going to be paying for those closing fees. Now, my client agents who use this tell me that this helps them get the listing when others are competing for that same listing. Why? Well, because they can get this to the seller at that appointment. This not only makes the agent look completely prepared, but it will give them the opportunity to share some of our information with the client and explain to them who will be handling the closing moving forward. You can imagine how this is a step above what most other agents are doing and what other title companies offer. So my agent clients do stand out from the competition and always get the listing or even snag the buyer. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go right to it because I feel like I'm getting a little long-winded. I'm going to be giving you a shot of my computer screen and we'll be running you through what you need to do in order to make this work for you. Follow along. Okay, guys, so this is where we're going to start. You're going to go to my website, which is www.americanrealtitle.com. I'm already there for you, but it's www.americanrealtitle.com. You can put it at the top of your address bar. When you're here, there's a lot of information. If you look here at the informational videos, all of the videos that I've done are here, but let's get to what you really want to see. This instant net sheet calculator. So we're going to click on this. This is going to take you to a login page. You're going to have to put in your name, okay, and your last name, and your email address, okay, your realty office name. So your broker, if you're with Keller Williams or whoever you're with, you would just put that on here. That's not applicable if you don't work for a brokerage, but either way, that's there. And then you're going to enter the image here for the actual verification. This is going to take you to the next step, and the next step is going to give you some information to fill out. You have here the zip code. So let's assume we're in my zip code, 33913. That automatically gives you the state and the county just by inputting that information here. Okay, now it's going to ask you what your search needs are. So you go here, and as you can see, there are a few things. Purchase, where the buyer is getting a loan. A purchase where the buyer is paying with cash. Just a seller quote where the buyer is getting a loan. A seller quote where the buyer is using cash. A refinance or a home equity line of credit. Okay, so I'm just going to say that, and we'll do this simple here. We'll just say a purchase, buyer's paying with cash. But basically, all of these will give you all the fees. The lender fees I don't have on here. Every lender is different, so you're not going to be able to get that here, but it will give you the additional recording fees for the county, taxes for the county on your mortgage. It will give you title insurance fees for endorsements for the lender, your closing fee for the actual loan closing, So it gets you everything regarding title and what my company would charge on a settlement statement, including title insurance if that's what the lenders are requiring, okay? So, but we're going to go with something easy like the buyer's paying with cash, okay? We're going to click there and it's going to ask you what the sales price is. Now, if you were doing it with a loan, you would be asked what the sales price is and what the loan amount is so that it figures out what the taxes are and all those things, okay? But we're going to go with the cash. And we're going to say that the purchase price is $100,000. Okay, and then it's going to ask you what the property type is. You got single family, condo, 2-family, 3-family, 4-family. Now you're getting into some commercial stuff. But usually a single family will give you the majority of your fees. The condo, if you do have a condo, I would put it on there. But even if this is for a lot, a single family will work, that option. The reason why these are all different is because there are different fees regarding endorsements for different type of property. So single family here, who's going to be living there? Let's just say you don't know. Again, there are reasons why this is being asked, but the I don't know answer is sufficient for what you're doing. Okay, so you're going to hit next, and this is going to take you to comparing prices. Now, we show up twice on here because we have a mobile ability where we can close anywhere in the state, and we have a local one. It doesn't really matter which one you do, they're going to give you the same fees, okay? So just click on fee detail. That's going to take you to the breakdown of what's being charged, okay? Now, I know this looks really short here. It's almost nothing. So what you're going to do is you can either show the details under these title charges and escrow only, show detail for the government recording and transfer charges only, or other charges, right? But what I like to do is I like to say show all fees right here. Okay, this is going to give you this breakdown of what things are usually on a settlement statement. So you got title charges. Now, if you notice the bolded numbers are your summaries for those sections. So this bolded number here are the summary of all these other fees. These bolded number here are a summary of these fees here. And this bolded number here are the summaries of this fees here. Okay. Now, this is where it gets really, really cool. If you are negotiating or something is going on where you need to add other fees, you can just press add fees here. Okay. What this is going to do is this is going to give you the ability to move things around. So we basically stated that this property is in Lake County. That was a 33913 zip code that I inputted in at the beginning. So it's assuming that the seller is paying for title insurance, right? You see the title insurance here. All right. So if, let's say, you wanted to negotiate and say that you wanted the buyer to pay half of that. If you put 50% here, then you have this change here, $287.50 and $287.50. If you wanted the buyer to pay all of it, you would put 100% here, and there you go. It all moved over. Okay, we're going to leave it the way it was, but let's say the settlement fee. Let's say someone is buying a property and the seller has said that they are not going to pay any fees because they have accepted your bottom price. Okay, then you're going to put 100% here for the buyer. Or you could do 100% for the seller here, or 50-50, which is what usually is accounted for. These are a $350 fee to the buyer and a $350 fee to the seller. That does change a bit if the buyer is obtaining a loan. That fee goes up because then there's a loan that has to be closed. Okay, that will be different if you were to do the estimate for the loan. Okay, a title search fee. Let's assume the buyer's paying all of the title fees, right? If you do 100% here and 100% here and 100% here, then see, you've removed all the fees from the seller. They're all on the buyer now. Okay, so that's that. Usually this is at 50%, and this is automatically calculated that way at 50%. Okay, So you see here, the buyer's fees are $350 for title and closing fee. The seller fees are $1,025. That gives you your owner's title policy that they're providing for the buyer, $350 closing fee, and a $100 title search fee, which goes to the title underwriter. Okay. The next section here are your government recording and transfer taxes. So the documentary stamp tax is usually paid by the seller, so that's automatically calculated at 100%, and it's calculated at that $100,000 purchase price. That again, you can say 50-50. This is all for negotiation. So anybody can do this. Anybody can pay it. Just because it's customary for a certain party to pay it doesn't mean that it's the law. It's all up for negotiation. The $35.50 here, that is a buyer charge. That's always at 100% here, and that's to record the deed. Okay, our deeds actually are just 1 or 2 pages, so it's either $10 or $18.50, but there is an e-closing fee that goes with it, and a file sharing fee. So it never goes up to $35.50, but that is the standard nationally, so that's what populates in here. Okay, so now let's really talk about the other charges, because we don't have charges here for anything. Let's assume you're doing credit to the buyer given to the seller. That usually doesn't happen, but you could. Let's say you're representing the seller, and the buyer is going to stay in the property for a month after closing, and they're going to be paying $1,000 rent, and that's going to be reflected. You're going to collect it at closing. Then you have it here. As you can see there, that $1,000 here lowered their amount, their fees for closing. Okay. Mortgage payoff. This is really important because most people do this by hand. So if you know that the mortgage payoff is $50,000, you can add it on here. Okay. And that will automatically bring these fees up, you see, because eventually you're going to get the net. All right. Which we'll talk about in a minute. So you've got a $50,000 mortgage. Credit seller to buyer. Let's say you're doing this for the buyer and you want the buyer to get $8,000. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. You put that on here, and then that basically gives you what the bottom line is as far as fees are concerned for your buyer. Okay. Real estate commission flat fee. So this is a great thing too. Administrative brokerage fees. Let's say each side is $295. You can automatically add it on there. And then we get to this amazing thing, which is your commission. I know that in negotiating and taking in a listing, sometimes it requires this commission to change. Usually it's 6%, but if you were to lower it to 5 or 4 or 2.5, you can change it as many times as you want. So we'll do 6% here, and you basically have that $6,000. Again, this is at a $100,000 price point. You have a $6,000 commission. But if you wanted to, let's say, you know, say that you were going to lower it to 5, you're automatically there. You see, then you have all of that information here. It's already calculated for you. And this is great when you're in front of the seller. If the seller's saying, you know what, my net needs to be more, all of these fees can be manipulated in order to get to where you're at, and you'll know where you're going to be negotiating at that point. Okay, so we're going to leave this at 6%, but I wanted you to see that. If you were, these services here are for loans. This always populates in all of my searches, but these will not be filled in. Now, sometimes you know what this is already. These things are usually buyer fees. So, you know, a $400 appraisal fee, a credit report fee of $100. These are all lender fees. Again, we don't know how much that's going to be on our end, so that's always at 0. But you as the agent, if you have some of those fees already, you can basically add this in here for them. Okay, then we've got total lender fees, application fee, loan discount, same thing. Okay, so we've gone through most of it, and now you can see that we've got a $350 buyer closing fee, $35.50 for recording of the deed, $295 for the brokerage fee. Okay, this is where this is at, the real estate flat fee. And that's it for the buyer. So the buyer's fees are going to be $680.50. That's it for $100,000. Now, the seller, if the seller's paying title, again, you can manipulate this to change it to whoever you think should pay it, is going to be paying $575 for the title insurance, $350 for the closing fee, $100 for the title search fee, which gives you a total of $1,025 for the title charges and escrow settlement charges. Your government recording charges, they have $700 here, which is the state of Florida deed, the doc stamps on the deed. Okay, and then we've got a $50,000 mortgage payoff. Again, you can manipulate this for whatever you want it to be. And then they have the $295 brokerage fee, and then the $6,000 for the real estate commission. So now they've got fees of $58,020. So that's what's going to give you all of that. Now, what this is going to tell you what it is that is being estimated. Now, what you can do here, you can hide all these fees. You can hide some of the fees. You could do anything you'd like. You can download a fee estimate. You can download it to your computer, or you can email it. So I'm going to download it here so that you see what happens in the screen. It says the content is loaded. Usually that will pop up a screen for me to save it, but maybe there it is. So I'm going to either do save or open. If I open it, let me show you what that looks like. Okay. All right, so it always comes in a PDF form, and this is what it says. It's got our name on it, our address, telephone number, and here are buyer and seller, all of the fees, right? And then you know what your fees are going to be. Now, you have them all here. Trying to think of what else I wanted to show you. You know, you can also email this to them. So let's say you've prepared this with them in front of you, and you want to email them the document. You would go here, you would do fee estimate, you would enter the email address here. I'm just going to put mine on here. And I'm going to say email document, and then it's going to go. It'll go through our website, so it'll say it's coming from American Real Title sharing a document with you. It'll say it's coming from me usually. So that's where you're at. Now, if you wanted to do one for a loan, here we go on our home page again, and we go to the Instant Net Sheet Calculator. Again, you can go backwards and do other estimates while you're in it. I just did that because I emailed the information out, and I wanted to show you how that worked. So let's do this. I'll just show you one more time because it will give you the information that you need. Well, I hope this lets me in there. Okay, so we're going to go here. Again, I'm going to do the address here, 33913. That will automatically give me this. And let's just do the needs are a purchase, buyer getting a loan, or seller quote, the buyer's getting a loan. Okay, we're going to do 200,000 like it had on here, and then 100,000 loan. Property type will be single family, and then who's going to be living there? I don't know. Again, you can do this in 5 seconds, have all your fees that will be charged for us, and it's so simple that when people call here and I tell them, listen, you could do this on your own. You could do it at night. You could do it on the weekend. You don't need to call anybody or wait for Monday through Friday to get these numbers. You know, it really makes it very convenient for my clients. So is this mortgage a federal or Florida state charter credit union? I'm going to say no. If you said yes, the only difference with that is that the intangible taxes for the recording of the mortgage would be waived by the state. Okay, so that's the only thing there. Again, you're going to click either one of these. It doesn't really matter. You're going to go to fee detail. I'm just running you through it quickly one more time with the different estimate. And when you got these fees here, you see there are a lot more fees here now. But You're going to say show all fees. And again, if you do add fees, you can manipulate all of this. So right now you've got a courier fee for the FedEx that goes out. This is on the buyer side. That goes out to the lender for the packages, the 2 packages that go out to the lender. Title endorsements that the lender requires. You've got the Florida Form 9 endorsement that the lender requires. The simultaneous issue for the loan policy. You've got a loan closing fee of $600. That's our settlement and closing fee. You've got the survey fee is around $300, and then you've got intangible and mortgage tax. A lot of people are always asking me what that is. There you go. You got your deed recording. So these are your total recording. Now this does not have the pages for the mortgage, so we don't really know how much that would be. That the lender would have to give us. Again, you've got credit, buyer to seller, mortgage payoff, payoff to existing lenders, credit, sellers to buyer, all these things. You got your commissions, you have everything on here. On the side, we're back at, they don't have these fees here, but then you've got that $1,075 for $350, $100, that basically gives the fees for the buyer has changed a little here, but that gives you the settlement fee for the seller. There's no survey for the seller, and then there's a title search fee. So you've got your title search fee, your closing fee, and your title insurance. Again, you can move this to the buyer or 50-50, however you like to work it. And then you've got here the state taxes, the documentary stamp tax, and that's it for the seller. Now, there may be other things like, and you can add other things on here, like HOA estoppel fees, you know, that's usually a seller charge. You can add a buyer's fee for applying to the HOA. So you could basically do whatever you like. Now you can save this, you can select a document to give out. So let's say if we said download the closing disclosure or download a fee estimate, so this would give you 2 different options. You know, the closing disclosure is usually the format that the lender uses, and what's used at closing. The fee estimate is sort of looks like what you did earlier, and then here's the emailing option to either the closing disclosure or the fee estimate. So if we say download the fee estimate, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to open it for you and show it to you, and then I'm going to download the closing disclosure so that you can see what that looks like. And I have a separate screen here, so I need to pull this over. But you've got this one here again. You've got all seller fees. Now remember that we said that we just wanted seller fees for this property. We didn't really care about the buyer fee. So basically you've got your information here, and you've got your seller net proceeds, and that's what I wanted to show you here. So if you're doing a quote for the seller, the net is going to show right here. Okay. On the other one, we just basically did a buyer estimate, so it didn't show that net proceeds, but this shows it. So if you pick the options for seller estimates, then that will give you that. Now you can download the closing disclosure, and that will look a bit different. Let me show you what that looks like if it opens up. All right, I'll pull it over this way. And then basically you've got usually what the closing disclosure sort of looks like. This is the borrower paid fees, seller paid fees. So this is great for our lenders that want immediate fees. This can be calculated by anybody. A lender can log in here and get our fees. So they don't really have to wait for any of us. It's just a great it's a great tool. If you need any more explanation on any of these, please let me know. I would be more than happy to show you. Again, you can do all kinds of things here on our website. You can schedule an appointment with me, which I'll be doing another video on how to do that. That way you don't even have to call in, and that automatically looks through my calendar to see when I'm available. So that's really great, and that's it, guys. So I hope that that worked for you and that it helped. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so now that you know how the net sheet calculator works, you have to use it for your next deal, whether that's representing a seller or a buyer. It's really important that you're able to provide these fees to them so that they know what they're getting into way before it's too late. I hope that I really have helped some of you and that you do use this tool. It's just amazing, and all of you can go to it. You don't need to pay anything for it. Obviously, it's offered for free for my clients on our website. And as I always say, if you're in the real estate industry and you have a particular topic that you'd like me to cover, let me know. You can put a comment below or even email me at kborgia@americanrealtitle.com. That's KBORGIA at americanrealtitle.com, and maybe we can create a video together on whatever topics you feel are necessary. Now, if you've missed any of our previous videos, you can go back either on our thread on our YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, both my personal and the business page, and our website at www.americanrealtitle.com. So tell me, how else can we help you? Again, I am Karina Borgia-LaCroix, the Title Girl and owner of American Real Title, where we perfect the art of closing the deal. See you all next week.